Hello, it's Tamara Hunter, and today is day number 139 of 365 days of awesome. Celebrate success through service. And we have our service hero. Her name is Joy Cooper Willett. Joy, I met a little while ago in Orange County, and we had an experience. This woman is truly amazing. She is just so full of heart, and her name is so appropriate. And I'm not even going to go too far into it because I want her to have a lot of time because you guys are just going to fall in love with this woman. I truly have. Joy, welcome.
Thank you, Tamara. It's a pleasure and an honor to be on your show today.
Well, thank you. You and I met at an event in Orange County, and we were at dinner, and and with Allison Larson, and Allison always makes things fun, and she was kind of throwing things up, and she's like, okay, everybody get out your business cards. So we get out our business cards, and then it was, okay, go around and start meeting everyone. And when you and I sat down, I don't want to get weepy because I could certainly get weepy here, but when you and I sat, you immediately were able to feel, we had an experience. Yes. And okay, I'm getting weepy, guys.
It's okay. I didn't bring the Kleenex either. I'll just,
I have fingers. They work just fine. A little bit of moisture goes a long way. But I did not know anything except for you had two cards with you, and I was looking at the top one. You do real estate, right? And so I was looking at the top one, and then we start having this experience, and I'm thinking, wow, you are quite the real estate agent. But you do a lot more than real estate, don't you?
I sure do. And actually, thanks for bringing that up. I just hung up my real estate license now. And, I've done that almost 20 years, and all these tools and techniques that I've learned over the years, because I started my coaching and learning about how the mind works way before, a couple of decades before I actually got into real estate. However, it does help and accentuate and dovetail into working with people. So whether you're working therapeutically or in a professional business setting, these tools, I call them magic tricks, help you get to where you want to go really, really fast. But yes, so my passion and my purpose is fully on with my trainings and what we're going to be talking about here, Tamara.
Yeah. Let's dive into that. And sorry guys if there's a little feedback. We were trying to figure that out, and we just went with it. We're going with it. You started back when it wasn't, if you will, the in thing. Though it was really interesting, our experience, and I don't know if I've ever shared this since, is that my mom was really into a lot of this back in the day before it was very with it, when it was still almost seen as flower child type stuff. And my mom was really not the flower child. She was let's just say this. She wanted to be a daughter of the American Revolution. She was really into the Republican Party. She was really, kind of like that in the 70s, the pillbox, she had her own thing, though. Red hair. She was her own person. You couldn't really put that one in a box either. And, but so I was raised thinking truly outside of any boxes, and so that's why I don't know what they are, and it's not because of just me. And so when you were talking about, you started in the 1980s, was it, that you started finding that you were interested in the way that the mind worked and how it would affect and help others, correct?
That's correct. And I've been blessed to come from a family being raised. That's going to be part of my upcoming book. How how we're raised and who's around us really can influence us, whether for wonderful ways or for maybe, negative ways.
Right.
And my family upbringing up in Canada, with a family of immigrant grandparents, I had my mom's side were all very interested in how, very spiritual people, and they were all from Finland. And then my dad's side, very Christian and faith filled in terms of and structure. So those two um, uh, parts of my upbringing and my genetics and my mom's side were very clairvoyant and always knew what was going on. So I bring that intuitiveness as well as that form and that faith and that wanting to delve into life's mysteries from early on. One of my turning points in my life, I have a twin sister, a fraternal twin sister who I love and talk to every day. And she had a nervous breakdown when we were about 23. And she had, up to that time, we were best friends, we traveled together. And so for me, riding with her in the ambulance to a hospital was a turning point that shifted me internally and in my heart. It was one of the most I can associate right back into that time, even just right there in that ambulance. And for many years, we lost her to that disease. Now she's been married. She has a beautiful son who's a stellar third year student at Washington University, and he's going actually into neurosciences and also this whole how the brain works himself. He's a brilliant young man. And so that sometimes these events create you to go, well, what can I do? When you feel helpless, what can I do here? And then also my mother passed away a few years later, and she said it was her way from cancer, pancreatic cancer. She was gone in 6 months. And it was her way of saying, she wanted to get the situation moving. That's what she said too with my sister. And so I decided, in my heart, what can I do? I was helping my father and, my sister, helping her at home, when she was at home. What can I do to learn? How do our minds work? What happens when we have something like that happen? How can we feel better in ourselves? What makes somebody successful and thriving? And what happens to somebody who falls apart? And, whether it's physically, emotionally, whatever areas of life. And that's where I began my quest.
And in that quest, you have actually educated yourself. You've taken it in an educated way, and not, please understand me, all my friends, that I'm not going to say this, and I want to be really respectful in this, but everybody kind of goes after their quest in different through different roads, right? They're going for the goal, but they may take it through a different path. Your path was that you decided to do it in a real, I can see it now that you explained your family, and even through your nephew, you took it in a logical way to go after something that has, when you're talking intuitive and you're talking about the brain, you're talking about a lot of what some people would even say touchy-feely type stuff, right? But we know, many that have been around this now, that there is a lot of science behind it, that there's a lot of proven facts, there's a lot of studies, there's a lot of education that can be had. And then from that, people come out of that and they become, if you will, like masters, trainers, certified. And then they can go and take that knowledge, the practical knowledge and the learned knowledge, and combine it in a way to help individuals be able to find their road, their quest, their goals, right?
Exactly. Because and that's a great point. I have over the years, I've done many trainings. I'm certified on a lot of different things, some more woo-woo than others. I truly believe in the power of our hearts and spirit. And I am an ordained minister for ceremony. I'm very, so I love the fact that we can take our mindset, combine it with our heart set, and also with our soul set, our faith, our belief in also things and greater powers outside of ourselves, God and the universe. And however, the proven, these techniques and trainings have also hypnosis has been around for centuries. I mean, when you do my hypnosis certification, you learn all about the history of it. This is just in the past, 100 and so years that we have had psychology. And that's really fun to learn about how even Freud came into that. He was a hypnotherapist himself, and how that all transformed. So, and just that we're having a renaissance coming back into learning about how the mind affects the body and how it affects your emotions. And so even the American Medical Association is now correlating and accepting that dis-ease has been potentially stimulated by a sudden shock or trauma so many years before. There's a whole broad study when you get into this at master levels that correlate the mind, body, soul experience. And now suddenly, modern science is coming up. We're catching up in Western world. In the other parts of the world, of course, they've always had that notion that there was a connection between a spirit and the physical body, that we were spiritual beings in our bodies having a spiritual experience, or a physical experience, excuse me. And so now we're being able to combine both theories, the Western world and having practical knowledge and knowing how, the body of knowledge of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, that came out, that was developed in the 1970s by Richard Bandler and John Grinder. And my personal trainer for these arts, my main trainer is Dr. Tad James, trained under those two individuals that many decades ago. And he then became the developer through an interesting series of events of timeline therapy, which is also his registered baby, and which has gone on to affect change and being utilized for PTSD and trauma and phobia with wounded warriors, specifically in the UK and Croatia, as adjunct therapies. There's so many ways that you can cross-reference these tools for either motivation, career, therapeutic, for healing and assisting in healing. And one little tip here, some of my recent hypnosis students from a training in spring, some of them are being also referred to by medical physicians because of the opioid crisis, which, big pharma, they love to, in this type of arena, let's take a pill. Now they're realizing that those pills can be even deadlier than the symptoms, of course. And they are now having to refer out to people like hypnotherapists, massage therapists, or people who have adjunct therapies to alleviate stress, anxiety, the A word, anxiety. Oh, don't get me started on that. And also, all of these things that overwhelm people in their day-to-day lives. And that's what these particular magic tools and techniques can come in and shift things at a neurological and sometimes physical level very, very fast. It just depends on the individual, of course. And, anyways, it's just fascinating. It's so fascinating.
I want to touch back on the hypnosis you helped me with. Thank you. Hypnosis. I've got it. I
Yes.
recall looking at it in my mind. Okay. And so, okay, so hypnosis. That is what you actually are a trainer, a certified trainer in hypnosis, and you have been helping, like you were just sharing. And I just really want to bring this home. You are helping those that are interested in a beginning level, and then also those that have started to learn and they need to take it and go a little further, right? So
Right. Yes. Yes. Either, I became interested in hypnosis in the 1980s. I had a personal friend and who used to come and stay at our house when we were living in New Hampshire, and he used to come up for the hypnotherapy conferences up there. And I got to know him, and his name is, he's since passed away, Dr. Henry Leo Bolduc, and he gave classes at ARE on the East Coast, Edgar Casey's Association for Research and Enlightenment. And he's a published author. And his focus was really about teaching people about self-hypnosis, because we can utilize these tools also for ourselves. It's not just to help someone else. It's also for ourselves, for our own motivation. So I got to mentor with this wonderful man and learn, and then also have clients on the East Coast. In the early 1990s, a new kid on the block in my neck of the woods in New England then was NLP. And suddenly everyone was like, oh, this neuro-linguistic programming. And I went, of course, let's go try it. Let's learn about it. And in those days, the trainings were 9 months long, sometimes longer. I mean, not every single day. However, it was it was a longer way of teaching, now utilizing how the brain works and utilizing the actual techniques and tools of NLP and working with the conscious mind and the unconscious mind. It's done very quick now. So I became a practitioner of NLP on the East Coast in the early 1990s, and had a little office there and saw some clients, and that was a lot of fun. And and then later on, I have stories, probably some fun stories and dramatic stories about how then I decided it was time for me. And then I went into real estate later on, and utilized my training of the tools and techniques, because this is taught in real estate classes. I've done some trainings for some real estate people, and it is also translated into corporate trainings, heads of state. There's quite a few of them. Former presidents and CEOs of companies are well versed in NLP for the art of influence and effective communication. And also, it's kind of the buzzword. Everybody knows about it now. Back in those days, though, it was a little less known. Yeah.
I think, sorry for the feedback. I think that there's a lot of people that do know about it, but I do actually believe that some of my buddies, some of the chemo buddies for life, possibly do not know. And they're thinking, what is NLP? Okay, I'm kind of feeling that is it hypnosis? Is it, okay, mind, body? Is there a way that you can give that elevator, or that little bit of a nugget of for someone that may not know what it truly is, and so that they're not sitting here thinking, okay, what is she talking about? Hocus pocus.
What is that exactly? What is NLP? And that's a good and a little fun adjunct. When I am in public situations and something happens, and because I'm highly trained in both hypnosis and NLP, as well as the other arts that I've trained in, I always am there to assist. I've helped out in emergency situations. I'm on planes. I could write a book about how many people I've assisted on planes, whether psychological, PTSD, physical panic attacks that have happened. and also in the workplace, some very dramatic, hysterical situations where somebody was going into a complete trauma because of a personal tragedy, and where they're calling the paramedics. So instead of coming in and saying, I'm an NLPer, because nobody really knows what that is, I do say I'm a hypnotherapist. And no matter what somebody feels about hypnosis, whether they've got a bias about it, towards it or against, usually, and this is even on the airplanes, is the flight attendants, everyone will back away and they will let me come in and handle the situation, just by using these tools, these amazing tools. And, so sometimes it's easier just to say, and I carry that in my wallet, my hypnosis card, as well as my ordained minister card, because I'm here to be of service, obviously.
Right.
And so NLP stands for Neuro Linguistic Programming. And neural relates to the neurology in our brain, the neurological connections. Linguistics is language, how we communicate. And then programming is about programming how we take in our world, and then in order to shift it, how we can actually shift it through the use of linguistics. When I say linguistics, Tamara, it is not just my words. It's not just, it's only 7% of linguistics, and how we communicate with each other, of course, is just with our words. The rest is going to be how our physiology, our body language, our tone and tonalities, all of those things add up, so that we're communicating at a subconscious level all the time, especially from way, way back when we were cave people. When we came into another tribe and we were on our own, we had to match and mirror body language, so they knew that we were going to be friendly as opposed to an adversary, and then we'd be killed if we came in like this, rather than matching and mirroring. Yes, exactly. So it's at a deep ingrained level for us as human beings to match and mirror, to use these things that we've separated out now in the body of work of NLP, or neuro-linguistic programming. It's a whole study, and it's intricate. It's a lot of study. At the same time, when you learn it, you go, oh, I've been doing that already. That's what that's called. And of course, there's a whole bunch of other things that you do learn. So it's about how we take in information and then how we put it back out. It's a study of excellence. And there's a lot of different parts that go along and make up the body of knowledge of neuro-linguistic programming. That's brilliant and changes lives. I mean, just think about Tony Robbins, right? Comes in, boom. He understands us about how we see people, how we're, as a trainer or practitioner, we are highly trained to observe how a person is thinking, how they're taking in their world. And then it's more about how they're doing something than why. We're not so interested in why. We want to know how they're doing it, so we can get them from here and move them up to here, right? Really fast. Yeah.
Okay. I just learned a lot right there myself. Thank you for it. You are a master trainer, because I did not know that it was only 7% when it comes to what comes out of our mouth. When I think of linguistics, I think, yes, that's language, but it makes absolute sense, because body language and yes, tone and all of it. And then I'm thinking back to my recruiting days, when you were going with the mirroring, and everything, and I'm thinking, oh yes, okay, I remember those days and training on that, yeah. And so as you're talking, I'm just going, okay, yes, I was doing this. Exactly what you said too. Oh yeah, when you learn about this, you're going to think, oh, I've always been doing this, or I know about that. And it makes complete sense, because a lot of these things that, if you will, some people might think, oh, that's the touchy-feely stuff. Well, life is, I don't know how you can get through life without having a little bit of touchy-feely going on, right? And it's a matter of them putting the facts behind it, the science behind it, and that's what I love about how you approach things. But you put the heart and everything, and your name says it all. Uh, your mother, what's your sister's name? I didn't know you were a twin.
My twin sister's name is Jana, and she's named after our great grandmother from Norway.
Oh, how cool is that?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then you were named Joy.
I was named Joy, and this is a little fun little trivia. We were preemies, and I was, I think I was 4 pounds something, um, and I was in an incubator for a few months. And at one point, they weren't sure I was going to make it. And my sister.
You keep talking. For some reason, I need to make sure that I'm plugged in because it's telling me that I'm about to go dead. And so you keep talking.
Okay. Well, we wouldn't want that.
No.
So.
Okay.
So at any rate, when I was a little baby, even as a preemie in the incubator, I had a twinkle in my eye, and that's why they called me Joy.
Oh, wow. That does not surprise me. Not at all. Not at all.
So.
Okay, I want to just bring a couple pictures up here. Because I love this one. I found this. I'm like, okay, yes, I have to share it. I have to. I hope it's okay. But like right now, be alive. Yes, that the power pose, and just like, okay, I'm here, world, and I'm gonna do it my way. And I love it. And then this one, you live by the water, right?
I do. I've spent a lot of my time either in the mountains in Colorado, and also right now I'm in beautiful Laguna Beach and this area in Southern California, which I absolutely adore because I'm from Vancouver, BC originally. I love the combo of mountains and oceans. So down here, it's absolutely wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, and is that your little guy there?
Oh, yes, that's my little Cody man. A lot of people on Facebook were able to, and actually he was my daughter Junie's little guy, however, lived with me all of his life, and he was the last of my babies. And this is actually the first time I haven't had a fur angel in my life since I was 11. So it's a big deal, big transition. So that's what I help people with, is their transitions on many levels. So that's little Cody, and he passed away in 2017 at almost 14 years, and just a love. Yeah.
I had to pick him out because I'm a big dog lover, an animal lover, and that, I mean, what a precious picture. And then recently, I don't have any pictures from our adventure, but recently we got to share some time up in Park City, and you actually traveled with our dear friend Dr. Marlena up there, right?
I did. We had an amazing journey together, talking about what our respective passions are, and getting to know each other. And in fact, she's going to be taking some of my classes coming up soon too. Yeah.
Oh, that I can see that. I mean, and someday I'm gonna when I get to a point where things are calming down and I can stay in one place for a few days, I'm gonna have to do that too. I would love to. In fact, let's talk about that. For anybody that would be interested in working with you and learning from you, and I'll tell you guys, my experience with her truly was miraculous. I'll just put it that way.
That's so sweet.
She has a special place in my heart because
too.
Because it was just like one of those moments in time that you just never will forget, and it was like, wow, we're at dinner right now. We're doing a networking thing, and it was like, woo! We went into a whole different realm, and it was amazing. And and when I and so now I've gotten to know you, and continue to want to get to know you so much, because you are just one of the most stellar individuals on so many different levels. And in visiting with you right now, I'm discovering even that much more. And because you are so humble, and you really do care about the other people so very much, that you're not out there tooting your horn. So I'm so glad I get to right now, because you need a little
Yes.
going on, because you can actually help help so many, because in this world, I love the fact that we have the internet. I love the fact that we have opportunities like this, that if you just want to go for it, you can just go for it. But there's still things that you need to be able to have that one-on-one time with someone, to make to affect change. And what it is that you do, that is something that is really required in many ways. And there's only one of you, so it makes sense that you would start having or continue. And I was so excited when we got to applaud the fact that you hung up that real estate license for good, and you're putting this forefront, like you, okay, yeah, I am going to really accept the call from those that have said,
Yes.
I want to learn more from you, Joy. And so you're actually having one of your classes. It's a 3-day event, right?
Yes, yes, yes. I'll show you a couple of things I do here. The 3-day coming up is in that, let's see, I've got a flyer for that somewhere. Well, I'll post, oh, here it is. Okay, so this one is coming up in November, and it is
we can post it.
Yeah. And that's going to be November 16th, 17th, and 18th, 3-day class. And that will be, it's a certification hypnosis training. So you're going to be learning with the hypnosis 3-day. You learn all of the ins and outs, the history, the different methods of that go along with the body of knowledge called hypnosis, so that you can actually there's going to be a whole section on self-hypnosis. You're going to learn how to construct metaphors for healing, because metaphors are one of the most beautiful ways that we can affect change in a person. And because, okay, I'll just do this quick little thing. Okay. We are actually using between 10 to 3% of our minds consciously. And that's pretty astounding when you think about it, right? And what's happening on the other levels? From 90 to 97% of who we are and operating as, it's operating at a subconscious, or we say technically unconscious level. It's out of our awareness, and that's running the show. So the reason why people do learn these techniques or go get work with, and I have NLP trainings and timeline therapy trainings, is to become more conscious about what's going on here, especially when the results out here are not the ones that they're happy with, whether it's in their career, their finances, their relationships, why they still have the same crazy people coming into their lives, or why they are not able to get ahead, or why things keep happening even at a physical level. We talk all about that. And so with the modern 3-day hypnosis training, you will become certified. Even if you're just, in the business world, you will have that credentials, because, when you are working with anyone, even yourself, you want to know exactly how to do this, because you're working with people's minds, right? So you want to be at the most excellent level that you can. So that's my 3-day modern hypnosis training. And that happens, we'll have another one in December. And also I do travel and put those on. If somebody wants me to come to their area, I do boutique trainings. So I will come and put that on in your area, your state even. People will hire me to come out and put a training on. So it's not that you're leaving your world to come out to a major big event. I'll come to your world, either for the trainings. This is also my certification trainings for NLP and timeline therapy. However, do you want to hear about my new baby that I love?
Absolutely. I want to also recognize we have one of our senior ambassador from Chemo Buddies for Life has just joined us. I wondered if she was going to be able to today. This is Sharon. We have Joy here. And then I see that we have some of the others that are on right now. We have one of our volunteers, Keith from Vegas, and we have one of our we'll talk about her in a moment. One of our Chemo Buddies that we're working to get to Vegas. But yes, I want to hear about this new one. Yes, please.
Well, it's my new rollout of my breakthrough session. And this is for individuals or couples and even corporations. We can take it corporately. And so it's my Avatar by Design breakthrough program. And what it is that for people, it's to assist professionals and people who are in a place of intense transition and change. They know that something's got to change right now. And yet they need new strategies to get from this point, because here we are, we're going, everything's great, and suddenly, boom, life hits us. And sometimes what we have is the opportunity, when we get overwhelmed, to go down to the bottom of the canyon or see crisis. And we want to get up. We want to up level. We want to upgrade to the next level up here, which is up here. And there's a lot of memes going around. Level up, level up. Well, sometimes it's not that easy. It's great to say just level up. However, when you are this is how we grow, by the way. This is how all human beings grow. This is how we grow. And so when we're in a place of great transition, transformation here, sometimes we slide down. Some people stay here. They get into addictions. They commit suicide, whatever. Free from that, by the way, everybody. And they just level down. They sit at the bottom of the canyon, no strategies. Otherwise, what we do is we want to create a new bridge to their new selves. And I call it their avatar self. It's that part of you that's that 10.0 version of you, whether it's in your business, in your finances, in your career, your relationships, your health. And usually on the cycle of life, we have all the quadrants. We have our quadrant for career. We have our quadrant for personal growth and development. We have our quadrant for family and relationships, spirituality, health and fitness. And when something's off, it usually is affecting the others. So my Avatar by Design breakthrough program will help somebody. It's like somebody coming into a house. It's like I compare it to a reno. So, I mean, renovations are big things on TV and, all of this. So, and being a former real estate agent, of course, I'm going to compare it to a renovation, right? Right. And you have this house, that's you. And something's got to change. You want to create a new kitchen. You want to do a new remodel. You want to change some of the layout. However, first you need to come in and take everything down the studs, right? Take everything down to the studs. So we do that by taking away and deleting and shifting really, really fast. I mean, these techniques are fast. That's why they're so amazing and effective. Gone are these days of sitting and talking about because that keeps relighting up your neurology, right? So you want to come in and shift it really fast. And so we take out the negative major emotions. We deal with those that have been dragging you down. I have dramatic testimonials, and just the results are stellar and life-changing for people. And then we come in and we also want to get rid of the self-talk, that stuff that just like if you're at a stop sign and you're waiting for the light to change, right? And you're going, oh, look at her, someone's walking, oh, I'll never look like that. Or that's going to be just too hard, or I don't deserve that, or man, what's the point, right? Those are the limiting beliefs and decisions that we run all the time, just out of our awareness, and they were put in place either decades ago or from family or generations that we just get in and we wipe those out. And so we're down to the studs in the house, right? Now we can see what we really want to do. So when you're cleared out, whether it's couples or individuals or even a company reset, then you can go, well, now, okay, really, I don't really want that kitchen over there. I want it over here. And we redesign what your next, what your avatar life or business or relationship is going to look like. And we redesign that, and then we put that into place utilizing quantum mechanics. So these actually shift at a quantum level. So it can actualize what is needed to happen, and you actually get there. I mean, it's phenomenal. So anyways, if you want to learn more about that, and that usually the breakthrough part is typically 7 hours of breakthrough, and we can split it up. People can do it on Zoom. They come to me, they fly me to where they are. And so I don't have any dogs now. I will travel. And I love the freedom of that. I miss him, but I love the freedom. And also, then my 90-day program, after you've experienced the breakthrough, you're not just left there. The other part is that I am there for 3 more months, okay, for 90 more days, that you will have laser coaching and keeping that your boat is on track. Say your boat's on track to Catalina Island, and you got this wind coming up, and you're like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to do it. Okay, call me, or we set up a time. We do some laser coaching for the equivalent of 3 months, and then just to make sure you're going to get to that island, that spot, that goal, and it's fabulous. It's just so much fun, and the results are life-changing, not only for them, for me too, the witnesses.
I can only imagine. I mean, right now I'm spinning. My head is spinning. I didn't know about this. It's so exciting. Thank you for sharing this. And I want to say Sharon's saying congratulations for being a service hero, and she loves what you were just sharing. Awesome. I agree with you. Okay, I want to share one more thing, because I mean, what an amazing service hero you are. You are the epitome of service, Joy. I mean, you just truly are everything that you just ooze. It's like everybody, when Joy comes in, and just the way even you, just everything about you is like, I can use Joy right now. And
well, that's my book coming out. It's all about joy.
Yes, I want to talk about that. You have a book, and you're not quite sure what the name is going to be, but it's going to revolve around your name, correct? Yes, and it will be in the beginning of the year?
Beginning of the year. I've got to just kind of accelerate this process so that we can get it out, so people can start enjoying it. And no pun intended. And it's about joy and the different ways on how to get there, utilizing your mindset, which is all of these wonderful tools and techniques we've been talking about. Heart set, because that's very important. Your heart, our heart, and then also our soul set, our connection with the universe and God. And those 3 combined, how to really navigate to that place of joy in ourselves, because in this day and age, right, we're constantly bombarded, and we are on information and global news overload because of this puppy. And it causes a lot of benefits to being connected, and there's also a lot that happens. Again, remember, your unconscious mind is recording everything. It's like a recording machine. That's why it's so important to learn how to navigate this part that's running things at a 97% in your life on all levels, so that you can be in charge of your mind. If you're not in charge of your mind, somebody else is, right? So, right. Really, truly. And so it's about giving hope and allowing people to have some new tools, new strategies, new ways to feel, and to also know that we're here together. We're on this planet together. We're not alone. And that's the beauty of people like you, Tamara. I mean, you're an amazing person, and you are a hero. You are so beautiful and wonderful, and you just see the love and purpose and the beauty and the gifts in each of us. So we salute you, and you have your amazing story. And we all are heroes in our own way, aren't we? We all are heroes for just getting up in the morning and saying thank you, and no matter what's going on in our life, that we have that purpose, and we have something inside of us to say we're going to make a difference, whether it's in our own little life, which isn't little, our children, even with our pets, our communities, or going even into global reaches to make an effect with this planet, because we are interconnected now, and we do have that opportunity to make that broad, sweeping statements and difference to help elevate our lives, and to bring more hope and peace and joy and even comfort to others.
Absolutely. You said that so well. So well. I just want to say, Sharon just gets so involved, and she's like, yes, heart. Yeah, she is. She's one of our biggest cheerleaders, and yes, she's our senior ambassador, and just absolutely incredible. I want to recognize also, because one of the 4 chemo buddies that we're trying to get to Vegas right now. We're on a quest, and we believe it's going to happen. So you have said that you are going to do all you can to be there with us in Vegas, and that we're going to work it out so that you can have a little bit of time with these with our 4 chemo buddies and be able to visit with them, because I actually asked her, guys, because truly the short period of time when I first met Joy, that experience has seriously changed. It changed my world. It just really was impactful. It was reassuring. It was wonderful. And so with that, I'm thinking we've got these 4 amazing chemo buddies that are representing our Chemo Buddy for Life community, and of which Sharon's been helping to get it all together, but Sharon will not be able to be one of them. But one, I believe, is still on with us right now. And I'm going to put this out. Yes, humor, hope, and heart actually are the 3 words that we wash everything through in Chemo Buddies. Before we make any decisions, they have to be able to somehow navigate through and wash through those 3 words. And so I just want to say thank you for being the service hero that you are in offering to visit with these 4 people, because as we were talking, a lot of us that have some type of disease, I know that it's now being said in different ways, but there's a lot of different school of thought how we ended up there, but we don't have to remain there. That is the good news. And one of the things about Chemo Buddies and with me going out and now being able to highlight so many of the service heroes, it's to say to our chemo buddies also, and to everyone that watches this show, that no matter what you woke up with this morning, there is always a chance to become your better self and to find that service hero that's inside, or to deal with whatever you need to do, or ramp up that avatar, strip those things down to the studs and rework your plan and put that kitchen where you want it to go. And all the multiple different things that you can do in the day, because you don't have to stay where you were. You can change and go to where you want to go. And that is such an encouraging message, but it's more than a message, it's a fact. And that's the thing about you, Joy, is that you are able to come in such a loving and sweet and kind way, and then actually help people make a difference that they've been looking for a very long time. I want to say that Sharon, she is one of our buddies. We have quite a few of our buddies, and she lets me share her story. That she is what we call a shut-in because of the situation within where she's at right now. She can't get out there, but she's out there all the time because she's our senior ambassador, and she knows all the service heroes now, and she takes care of all of our chemo buddies, and she's helped. She does so much. Thank you, Sharon. You know how I love you. She does so much for all of our community that without her, I would be like, okay. And we're like the duo because I'm out there, and that's why I'm always streaming too. And so that our chemo buddies, because I was a shut-in, that we are out there in the world. So I just want to say thank you for that offer, and we're going to get you there and make that happen, and it will be.
I'll be there. It's my honor to come and to assist whatever I can do. I'll be there, Tamara. Just give me the dates and times. Okay.
We'll make it happen. It's pretty exciting. And so our fundraiser is going to be on Giving Tuesday. We're going to have a marathon, and then we're going to end it in a service hero celebration benefiting Chemo Buddies for Life. And we're going to get these 4 chemo buddies there to have a VIP experience in Vegas. So it's our first one. And you have to just say, okay, we're going to do it. So Alex helped me to make that decision up in Park City. So like, okay, let's just do it, guys. We're going to pull this off. And so I want to thank you for that. So to remind everyone, you have this amazing training. Shout out. Okay, shout out. We'll just put it there. Shout out to you, Tamara and Joy. Well, thank you. Shout out to you too, Sharon. Love you. Thank you for all you do. All right, so you have your training coming up on the 16th and the 17th and the 18th. It's in Southern California, and it's going to be near the beach, right?
Yes, you can see the ocean from here. Absolutely. And for anyone that wants to get in touch with me, my website is just getting revitalized right now, so it's going to be up either this week or the next. But, however, feel free to call me or text me. 949-520-0095, or communicate with me on Facebook and send me a private message.
What was that number again? What is it?
949.
949.
520.
520.
0095.
95. Okay, I'm going to add this, and I'm going to show it. And I'm going, okay, so let me do this. I'm going to take these. Just a minute. There we go. Okay. All these buttons. There we go. All right. So got your phone number for people to text you to get more information. And then what we'll do, Joy, is when we're done, if you could go into the comments and attach your flyers, put your contact information in, and so that people can get a hold of you and take advantage of this amazing skill. I someday you're going to see me in one of those classes, guys. I believe in the power of the brain and the mind. I believe that the mind and the heart and the soul, like you said, that they need to be connected, and for us to be able to go forward in our lives, to have that kind of skill level is pretty exciting. All right. Well, as we end, it's just so much fun to spend time with you. I just absolutely love you and adore you, as you know, and I want to be able to close by saying thank you. Thank you for being who you are. And I'm going to do the official, as we close, day number 139 365 days of awesome. Celebrate success through service. Thank you, Joy, for being the service hero that you are. Thank you for spreading love and cheer and joy, reassurance, a calming energy when needed in some kind of a emergency situation for those that don't know you, and you show up and you're there willing to give. That is truly a service hero, and so much more.
I love you too, Tamara. Thank you too. Wonderful to be here. I love you. And anyone, feel free to contact me. I'd love to talk with you if you want to just talk about your situation. We do strategy sessions for free. So love you.
Okay, I love you too. So I'm going to end here by putting the number one more time so that it's on the screen. All right, well, we're going to go, and then I will see everybody else tomorrow. I will see you later, Joy. Bye.
Bye, sweetie.